What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and this time I'm reviewing Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Nintendo Wii by Nintendo and the developer Retro Studio. Now Nintendo decided to go with this particular compilation mainly because of the success of the Metroid Prime games on the GameCube and the Wii, of course, which was released in like 2002, 2004, and around 2007 for the third game. Now, as far as the plot, enemies, stuff like that, it hasn't changed not one bit. Even the soundtrack. The two major changes that you will see in Metroid Prime Trilogy is the graphical upgrade and the controls, because you're going to use the Wii controller along with the nunchuck to play all three games in Metroid Prime Trilogy. And there's some minor tweaks within each game as far as like the when you scan the lores and stuff like that, where the certain things are worded, but it's relative. Those changes are relatively minor. Now, if you already played Metroid Prime 3, then playing Metroid Prime Trilogy is not going to be a problem at all. From an overall standpoint, Metroid Prime Trilogy still has the same amazing graphics, gameplay, level design, soundtrack, all that. Even the epic boss battles that you saw in the Metroid standalone games. Now with Metroid Prime 1 and 2 for the GameCube, Samus could not jump while in Morph Ball mode, but now that you can do that now with Metroid Prime Trilogy with those two games. And a lot of there has been some gamers who took advantage of that while fighting the Omega Pirate from Metroid Prime, and they can now use the power bomb against it to shatter those glass things. And by doing that, the boss battle, that particular boss battle, is shorter than it is on the GameCube version. And honestly, I don't think Nintendo and Retro Studios had any intentions to use that as a strategy in the boss battles in Metroid Prime 1 and 2. It's just that gamers just took advantage of that particular situation. Plus, they pretty much added the easy mode to the difficulty, and they pretty much changed the hard mode to hyper mode in Metroid Prime Trilogy. But with the easy mode, I don't think did they really need to add that though? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm perfectly fine with the Metroid Prime games being with the normal mode and hard mode with those particular games. I'm thinking that I would most likely not play none of them on the easy mode in Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, the graphics and level design in Metroid Prime Trilogy is just as good as the standalone games. It's still awesome, you know what I'm saying? Even with the graphical improvements that was seen it's still just as good in my opinion. And you know, Retro Studios, in my opinion, has always done a good job with the graphics and gameplay, graphics and level design, rather, of the games that they made, whether it's Metroid Prime, the Metroid Prime games on the GameCube and the Wii, or the last two Donkey Kong games that were released here within the last, say, 6, 7 years ago, something to that effect. I say within the last 7 years. Now they pretty much did a good job with that. Now the gameplay still the same, still good overall. And it functions practically the same way as it did with the previous. I'm thinking of Metroid Prime and Prime 2 in this regard. I think the only complaint that I could think of is that when you switch to the beams, or switch between the beams and the visor in these two particular games, it takes a few seconds longer to switch between them than the GameCube version. And the soundtrack for Metroid Prime Trilogy is just as excellent as the standalone game, in my opinion. Mainly because Nintendo and Retros felt that changing it, felt no need to really change the soundtrack. In my opinion, it's still the best aspect of each of these Metroid Prime games. Now, my main complaint about Metroid Prime Trilogy only comes from Metroid Prime 2, because I played it on the GameCube, and it's really connected to the fact that some of the enemies in that game are annoying, and a lot of the boss battles in it are unnecessarily hard. But at the same time, it doesn't ruin Metroid Prime 2 at all, and it definitely doesn't ruin Metroid Prime Trilogy. And honestly, Metroid Prime Trilogy is pretty much one of the best compilation games that ever came out. I would say, especially in the last 10 years, you know. And I would seriously recommend it to anybody who has a Wii, or the Metroid, who's a fan of Metroid, or anybody who hasn't gotten around to playing it, you know what I'm saying, and all that. But it is one of the best games one of the best compilation games I've played. But at the same time, I haven't played a lot. But still, what did I say that for? But what I meant to say, just I haven't gotten around to really play it like that. But it is pretty excellent. Though, but far as the score, I would definitely give it like a 10 out of 10, because it's mainly because they made changes that were necessary. It wasn't like they outright changed the soundtrack, like the Ninja Gaiden trilogy, where it became awful. But it's like I said, it is one of the better trilogies, because the changes that were made was necessary. With that being said, if you like Metroid Prime Trilogy, if it's one of your favorite game of all time, or whatever the case may be, you can mention it in the comment section. If you like this video review of Metroid Prime Trilogy, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button, and don't hesitate to and don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.